Hi everyone, welcome back to Lavendaire. I'm Aileen and today we're gonna talk about money, specifically investing. So before I go into anything, I just wanna say that my goal for making this video is to just have you be aware of investing, what it is, and how you can be smart with your money, because we all want to be smart with our money, right? I also want to let you know I'm not an expert, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just here to share the basics of what I know and just kind of guide you in the right direction, just in case you had no idea about any of this before. So a little background about myself, I did go to business school and I took a finance class, which means that I did have like a general knowledge of basic finance concepts and stuff, but back then it was just all conceptual. I didn't really think about applying it to my real life until very recently. So I always knew, investing was there. I knew it was good, you can make money from it, and it was the smart thing to do, but I just never got into it because I was intimidated, I was scared. First of all, I felt like I didn't have enough money to start investing because, I'm doing this whole creative DIY lifestyle. And even though I knew it was the smart thing to do, I just had no idea where to start, where to even begin. And I felt like that was so much effort on my part to even start that research, and I wasn't into it. I was like, I don't really care about finance too much. I want to do creative stuff. But recently, I did a podcast interview with this woman named Kana Campbell, aka Sugar Mama on YouTube, and she's a financial advisor, and she was just like laying down the knowledge, the finance and investing knowledge in this episode. By the way, I'll link it below so you can listen to it yourself. But while I was talking to Kana, I realized that a lot of the stuff she was saying, I kind of already knew because I learned it in class, but I never applied it in life. And I told Kana, I feel like I don't have enough money to start investing. And she was like, no, you can invest with even a small amount. The best time to start is now. And so talking to Kana really pushed me to, look at investing and start putting my time to research it a little bit, just to see how I can invest my money and be smart with my money. So today I just want to share some things that I've learned and kind of direct you in the right direction. Again, I'm not going to get too technical or too detailed because I just want to guide you in the general direction. I'm going to post a bunch of links down below of articles for millennials and beginner investors, so feel free to look that up after this video. So how do you know you have enough money to start investing? So first off, you gotta have enough cash to support yourself. So if you have any high interest debt, like credit card debt, that's like 8% or higher, don't start investing. Your priority is to pay off those debts ASAP, because debts, especially high interest debts, can really hold you back, and it costs a lot to pay those high interests. So if you have those debts, focus on paying those off now. Secondly, you want to make sure you have enough cash savings for 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. So you want to calculate your monthly expense, the money you spend on your internet bill, your rent, your groceries, entertainment, etc. And then, times that by 6 months ideally, and see if you have that chunk of money, because that is what a lot of people call your emergency fund, your emergency savings, because life happens, you want to make sure you have some cushion to protect yourself just in case. So if you fit that criteria and you have extra cash on top of that 6 months worth of expenses, then that's when you have extra cash to start investing. And I want to say that even if you're not there yet, maybe you don't have that much saved up, you can still start implementing ways to save now so that you can have some extra cash to start investing. And there's something called micro investing, and I'll recommend a couple platforms later on in the video, but micro investing is where you invest pennies or a few dollars at a time. So it's very manageable, it's very doable for anyone. So why start investing in the first place? So the goal of investing is to grow your money faster than it would have grown if it were just sitting in a bank. Actually, putting your money in a bank doesn't really grow it that much. The interest rate is basically zero, so it just stays the same. But for example, if you invest in stocks or bonds, they have a higher interest rate, a higher rate of return, where your money will grow faster. So you might have heard the saying, time is money. And it's so true because with more time, your money can grow faster and it can grow more. So it's really like magical, and it's all because of something called compounding. And compounding just means when you earn interest on interest on interest on interest. I know that doesn't make sense to a lot of people, but just imagine like you invest $100 and it gives you like a return of 6% a year. So in 1 year, you'll have $106. So what you do is you reinvest the earnings that you made. So you have $106, you invest that at 6% a year. And then after another year, you have $112.36, which is a bigger number to start with. And then you invest that in 6% and 6% again, on and on and on until your money grows exponentially like this. Like it really is math. Basically, you make your money work for you without you actually putting in any like physical work. So that is called passive income, and passive income is awesome. You're like making money while you're sleeping and living your daily life. Your money is just growing itself because of what you've invested in. So if you're young, if you're in your 20s, the best time to start investing is now because you have decades ahead of your life to live, decades for your money to grow. And look at this graph, you know, the beginning it grows slowly and then it gets faster and faster and faster and faster. So you want to start earlier so that your money could just accumulate faster. So even if you start with like $100 a month, you know, putting that into investments, that can grow a lot. For example, I took this off an article on Betterment, and it says that if you're 25 and you invest $100 a month, that equals $1,200 a year, and you just invest that same amount, you know, for 40 years until you're 65, you will have, let me look at the number, you will have $185,700, assuming a 6% return. So if you calculate it, you've actually only contributed out of your own pocket $48,000. And I got that number by doing 1,200 times 40 years equals 48K. And if you know, subtract from how much you have in the end, basically you have like $137,700 of passive income. Like that's how much money you grow, and that's only considering that you invest $100 a month, which is really little because I'm sure as you get older, you'll be able to make more money and be able to invest even more into your accounts. So I hope that the numbers didn't confuse you. I hope it makes sense. Passive income is real. Investing is a great way to be smart with your money. Now let me talk about my personal experience. So personally, my style of investing is I'm not trying to be like a super duper investor. I'm not trying to be like a daily trader. I don't want to buy and sell individual stocks every day. I don't want to put that much mental energy on it because it's not my passion. I know for some people it's their passion. They love to like check the market and they want to make a career out of it. I'm not that person. I still love what I do creatively, but I do want to be smart with my money. So my style is I just want to put my excess money into some investments where I'll leave it there for like 20 or more years, just let it grow. And it doesn't have to grow super fast. I just want it to grow more than it would have grown in a typical bank account. So I did my research, and Kana introduced something called the Vanguard risk questionnaire, and I took that. And basically that's just a questionnaire that assesses your risk, you know, because some people are willing to risk more, some people want to play it safe. So I'll put that link below if you're curious of how risky you are, because there's so many different ways to invest. Anyway, bottom line is I did my research and I discovered a lot of new platforms, not too new, but like relatively newer platforms called Robo Advisors. And basically what they are computer automated algorithmic ways to invest your money. So you put your money in something and then they use a bunch of algorithms to figure out your portfolio mix and where to invest your money. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but traditionally, like either you do it yourself or you have a financial advisor, a human being to help you distribute your portfolio. But you know, now there's like computer done ones that are pretty trusted and reliable. I know for people who have no idea what this is, because a month ago I had no idea what Robo Advisors were. Like it might sound like, oh my God, you're putting your money and letting a computer decide what to do with it. I mean, It might seem scary at first, but a lot of people use it. A lot of people trust it, and that's all I'm gonna say. It's up to you. Everything is up to your discretion, but they're pretty big. So I did my research comparing all these different platforms, and I was mostly comparing between Betterment and Wealthfront, which are top robo advisors where they'll, give you investing advice. And then two that I wanted to mention are Acorns and Stash, and those are the micro investing platforms. I think they're both like an app, and I'll post the links below so you could check out how they work. Basically, you invest like pennies or dollars at a time. And then there's Motif, which is a new way to invest based on like ideas. So instead of picking like companies, you'll pick an idea or motif that you believe that will grow in the future, like renewable energy or something. And once you pick a motif, they'll bundle some investments that fit under that. And there's one called Robinhood that's also like millennial friendly, but that one is just for free trading, because traditionally there's like traditional platforms like E-Trade and Charles Schwab. They charge you a fee for trading stocks, and those are more like DIY, do-it-yourself trading, which I'm not trying to get into. Those are like platforms for like my mom's generation. Like my mom uses those websites. So I was focusing more on platforms that are millennial friendly, user friendly, super simple, easy to use. So again, I did a ton of research comparing all these different platforms to see which one was right for me, and I'll post all the links below so you guys can check them out yourself too. So in the end, I decided to go with Betterment because it was generally like the top trusted and top popular platform for robo advising, and I'm the kind of girl that goes with like the number one. I don't want to gamble with anyone else. So I started investing with them. The way it works is you just like do a quick questionnaire similar to the risk questionnaire, and then they kind of assess your risk, who you are, and what your goals are, and then they recommend a portfolio mix. Portfolio just means like your mix of investments. So there are different kinds of investments like stocks and bonds, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. A mix of things, right? Like I said, I don't want to get too detailed. You can do that research on your own. I just want to be here to let you know that, hey, this stuff exists. If you're interested, if you have extra money, you should probably consider growing it in a way that can create passive income. So that's it. Bottom line for this video is don't let investing scare you. There are so many new platforms, so many resources out there for people like us, people your age. So don't be scared. Don't feel like investing is something that only old people do, or something that only financially savvy or people good at numbers do. Investing is for everyone, and there are so many different ways you can do it. It's very customizable, and so that's all I'm gonna say. Leave it at that. I hope you realize how powerful compounding is. I hope that it inspires you like it inspired me, because once I like realized really what I could have done, like I could have started investing when I was 18. That's what I think when I'm researching this. And you are the youngest you'll ever be right now, so the best time to start is now. Don't regret anything in the past. Just do your best, have fun, be smart, and I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe if you want more videos, and feel free to comment below with any questions. Make sure to check out that podcast episode with Conna Campbell, Sugar Mama, because she's the expert. I'm just the one that's like, wow, so cool, and I'm trying to share it with you guys. But yeah, have a beautiful day. I'll see you next time. Bye.